It is saying some people. Okay, fine. Oh, good. All 10 done. Very good. Okay. Pattern number 1 and question number 5. All right. Question number 5 is okay. Panjwani. Question number 5 is okay. Yes. Very good. All done. Very good. Okay, Panjwani. Can you
Yes,
listen?
ma'am.
Okay. Good. Okay. Question number 5 is very easy. What you need to do is user will
Ma'am, I have
constantly.
done, but
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
I'm,
Yes.
if you have any other way to solve that.
Okay. Any other way? So you need to keep the loop as infinite, right? That is for sure. Otherwise, how will you? Or maybe some terminating condition, like when the input is non-zero, you continue the loop. If you're using a do-while loop in that case, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the one loop is required for sure, right? And the complexity will depend on the number of n. That is the number of integers user is entering. That many number of times the loop is going to run, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So there is no better way of doing it except this. Do you think of any better way? Because as the number of elements user will enter, according to that only the loop is going to terminate, right? And user can enter any number of random numbers, right?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
So
but first we have to take input so that user can enter into while loop.
okay, for the first input you are telling.
Yes, ma'am. And we
Okay,
have to add that input also in the inputs we have taken in while loop.
okay, okay. Are you using a do while loop or while loop in the program?
While loop, ma'am.
Okay. Even if it is the while loop, you initially in the while loop itself you are taking some input, right? Now, if
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
comparing that, if that is non-zero, then only you're continuing. Otherwise, if that number is zero, then you will directly break the loop, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
if yes, if the input is zero, then the order of one will be the total time for execution or execution. No, because the loop is only going to run for just like one single statement, order of one, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, at least once the loop will execute. If the input is zero, then itself it will break the loop and automatically come out of the loop. Right? So order of n will be the case in the best case scenario. If user is entering zero constantly for infinite number of times, then is the worst case scenario. The complexity will be order of n only. No, the number of iterations is equals to the number of the numbers entered by user, which is non-zero. Right?
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay.
So, ma'am, that solution is not correct.
Ma'am, can I show the show you the program?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
have
Pran-
already done. But
Okay. Okay. Yes. 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 Yeah. Pranjul, you are saying something.
Yes, ma'am. I was talking about the same question which Raj asked you. Though I just wanted to confirm that is that solution correct or just any other way we have?
That is what I was discussing with Panjwani. That order of n will be the minimum, the number of time that even if it's in best case scenario, if user enters zero in initially only no, then the loop will run only once, like a statement, right? It is order of one in the best case scenario. But if user keeps on entering non-zero numbers, then the loop will execute till the number of n is there, no? Right?
Ma'am, that means once we need to keep take input outside of the loop, no, for
No need
confirmation.
to keep. No need to keep. See, you keep the loop as infinite in itself. You can take the input. Oh, no need to take input initially. No need to take two inputs. Okay, the same thing you are doing. Same thing, Panjwani. Okay, show me your program. If anybody facing
Wait,
any
ma'am.
issue in this question, you can see what I'm telling here is you remove the initial input, beta. Remove the initial input. Okay.
First
Yes,
input.
yes, remove the initial input. Only keep some, okay? You keep the loop as infinite. No need to, mention any greater than zero. Okay? If mention anything, you can
So how to
mention,
keep?
okay, true. Mention true over there, right? While true is infinite loop, right? Now user is going to enter the input, right? If the input is zero in the first case itself, you are checking only, no, here, that it is zero. Then you have to break the loop, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Zero
Ma'am,
plus
we tried that way, but the problem we were facing was that
Sum equals to
पहला
zero.
input जब हम करते हैं ना पहला नंबर वो sum में add नहीं होता.
okay. If the number is zero, then sum will be 0 plus 0 0 only. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Okay. If the number is non-zero, then you are properly adding the numbers sum equals to sum plus r. Right?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Now remove the 22nd statement. There is no need of that statement. and be done with it. You can run the program. You can see, and you have to print sum here. Yeah. Answer is sum. No, you are yes. Right. Now test it. Test it with initial 0. Test it with and 0 in between. If you are entering 0, okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Now again enter 0 one more time. Enter 0 and check. If you are entering 0, the sum is 0 plus 0, 0 only. No need to do summation if the input is 0. No. And any number plus 0 is 0 only. Right?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Anjul, are you getting this? Mr.
Yes, ma'am. I got this right now.
Yes. Okay, no problem.
Yes, ma'am. This was my doubt.
Okay, no. Any other questions in the
No, ma'am.
assignment?
All done.
Yes, ma'am. I sent you a question, I think,
Yes,
on mail
yes.
and on Telegram too.
Yes. I'll see it today. I was not free on the weekends. I'll see it today. I was on leave itself. I'll see it today. Okay. I'll reply you today itself. Okay. One more question was there. Manyar. Okay, no problem. Manyar, you have joined the session from phone. Okay, no problem. Okay, Mohammed is saying question number 7. All right. Question number 7. Okay. You need to print the ASCII characters of these integers, right? Okay. Let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Mohammed? Okay, yes. See, the question was you need to print the ASCII values of all the characters, right? Say, for example, from A to Z, user is telling you to print from A to Z, right? What you will initially do is, you will start the loop, right? Now, you already know that small a, if user is asking for capital A, then ASCII is 65. If user is asking to print from small a, the ASCII is 97, right? To print these ASCII values along with their characters, I can do it with 2 different ways, okay? I can start my I with 65, right? Because I want to print. What should I print here? I should print that I is the ASCII value of character value of I, right? Mohammed.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the last ASCII value? 97? If I want to print A to Z, 7, right? Correct. Okay, fine. Even if it is not there, we'll check. Fine. Okay. So I want to print I is the ASCII value. Space I'm adding over here as concatenation. And I'm converting or typecasting I to character. Okay. One way of doing it is converting your integer to character like this. Okay. It will print I along with the character value of that I. Okay. Just see, till 90 it is A to Z. No. So I'll run my loop till 90 now. Are you getting this? It is starting from 65.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. One more thing. Another way of doing it is no need to do this, this thing for character. No need to do conversion over here. I can directly start with character. Okay. And I'll just print, again, I think character is required because I is 65. You can, start like this. See, capital A, less than capital Z. Then in that case, you need to do the conversion for integer. Right, integer value of that character. Right, I'll start my loop with character. I'll increment character 1 by 1. I'll print the integral value of this character, nothing but the ASCII value, and I'll do the character value. Right, everything is fine.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have take like upper limit and then lower limit, and then I have print all the alphabets and the ASCII values also.
Can you repeat what you have done?
I have take 2 limits, ma'am. Upper limit and then lower limit. After that, I have print all the values with ASCII value.
Got it. Okay. So you say you are inputting upper limit from user. Okay. Then this you will input from user, right? And another integer will input from user, right? Lower limit, right? You know how to
Yes,
input from user, right?
Yes.
And then instead of using here A and Z, you will use your upper limit, and then you will use your lower limit till lower limit, right? Getting it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Will you try it?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Anybody else is facing any other questions? They can. One more question was there regarding
हम
the
printf यूज करेंगे उसमें तो
चलेगा।
टाइप कास्ट करने की जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ेगी.
नहीं पड़ेगी. Yes, you can directly replace. Yes. Percentage D or whatever character you are using.
Percentage.
Yes, you are right. Yes. Somebody was having question in the pattern program. Who was having question in pattern program? A pattern question was there. Question number 10.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Question number 10.
Question number 10 itself. Okay. Same thing you will do, right? Instead of same thing you will do here. You will just take 2 loops. From where shall I start my loop? Can anybody help me out? It is like a Floyd's triangle only, right? See.
65.
Yes. This will run till number of rows, right? Upper limit will run till number of rows, right? That you can manage with. Say you start with 0 and you run till n. N is input from user, right? Then we can make our inner loop again start with 0 itself. We can make our inner loop should run till I because it's a triangle, right? So for 0, it has to run only one time. So j less than or equals to I, 0 less than or equals to 0. This pattern is clear, right? How to do this? How to print a triangle? Your inner loop should run till it should try to reach till the outer loop, right? And to print these values, you can simply take a character over here. You can start it with A. You can print this A. You can print this character, and then you can increment it by 1, right? Yeah, is it correct?
Ma'am, we have to change the line also.
Yes. I forgot SOPL in here. Yes. Done. Looks good. Right? You start. Yes. Yeah. You make this J reach till I. For creating a triangle, for I is 0, J should run only one time. So J is less than or equals to I. When I increments to 1, J should start with 0 and reach till 1. That is 0 and 1, 2 iterations. Because you want to print a triangle. That is the reason 2 iterations, right? Correct? Shall we run and check? And as you want to print a character incremented by it every time, you can initialize it with A first. You can print it once and then you can increment it every number of times. Right? What if I increment this character over here? What will be the output? Here, if I increment, then what will be the output?
A, B, B, D, D, D.
Because for the same row, you are printing the same character, right? For the same column in the current row, you are printing the same character, not incrementing it. So A, then it will increment itself and change to B next time, right? Are you getting this?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Mohammed, are you clear with this pattern? Shall I explain it to you again?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I got it.
Okay. No problem. Anybody facing any questions in any of these questions? They can talk to me. Others are easy, right?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, in question number 3, we are not given any condition for 30s and 40s. It is directly given if the weight is greater than 50. Then
Yes,
for
30s
and 40, we can give default like enter valid or something.
Okay, see, I had actually a correction over here. Instead of mentioning 20, I wrote 50 over here. It's 20. So if weight is greater than 20, then it is 21 to in any number of the weight. It is you can print this message. Okay, no need to create one more condition for if weight is greater than 50.
Okay,
right?
okay, ma'am.
See, it should be 20 here. It is my mistake. I have mentioned here 50 instead of 20. So after 20, you can print this message directly. Right? Package cannot be shipped.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have taken random random cost between 20 to 50.
Oh, okay. The cost is randomized. That is what you have taken.
Yes, ma'am. By
Oh, okay,
myself,
good,
like
good, good.
20 to 30, I have taken 15.5 or something like that.
Oh, okay. Okay, for that particular range of weight, this much should be the cost like that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have taken, no?
Yes,
Okay,
till
okay.
50.
Yes, works good. Yes, no problem. Yes, yes. Okay, anybody facing any issues? See, I don't want to pinpoint and check. कि तू मैंने बताया, I don't like this, okay? But I want you to step up for yourself and do it on your own. If you have any questions, you talk to me. Shall I check for everybody? Do you want me to check like a teachers in school? What do you want me to do? Shall I check your assignments or will you do it? Okay. Okay, no problem. If you are having any questions, we still have more time. I'm ready to solve any question that you have, okay? Multiplication table question was easy, right? But you have to print it like this, huh? Have you printed it like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anybody facing any queries in how to print table like this, they can raise their hand. I'll help you out. No question in this assignment? 8, okay, 8. Somebody had a question. Question number 8, okay. Okay, question number 8 is very easy. Okay, people who are facing problems in printing the pattern in triangle form or anything. Manu? Yes, Tushar. Tushar, you are saying something.
And I was saying that we can do it by using nested loop.
We can do it by using nested loop. Yes, you are right. Okay. In the patterns that, okay, anybody is having any queries in how to print, how to use two loops in creating triangular patterns, raise your hand. I'll explain it to you.
Yes, ma'am. Please explain it once.
Yes. Okay. Just let me get your camera. Yes. Okay. It opening. Okay, yes, it opened. Okay. If you are given a pattern in triangle, right? You are facing issues in patterns with triangle, right? Okay. So if you are given a question like this, simple question like this only. Okay. Say it is a square pattern. Okay. We are not considering, triangle for now. If it's a square pattern like this, then there is always something needed to print the characters row wise, and you need to print the characters column wise also, right? The reason you cannot do this using system.out.print statements is that this pattern could be dynamic. User can enter here that I want n number of rows and that I want m number of columns, right? Then you cannot fixate on this. As per what user enters, you will print the pattern, right? So if you want to print a pattern in a square way, think of it as a matrix in mathematics. Are you all familiar with the matrices concept? Hello?
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
you do? Okay, you have studied matrices, right, in mathematics?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So think of it as a matrix. In matrix, what do you have? You have something like this, right? This is 0, 0, then 0, 1, 0, 2, right? Then 1, 0. Am I correct? Mohammed, is it correct, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, 2,
2,
1,
1.
2, like this, right? Then how do you know it is 0, 0? Because you know that this is the 0th row, okay? 0th row, then this is the first row, okay? Second row, right? You know this. And this is nothing but the 0th column, first column and second column. And it goes on obviously, right? But you're just restricting ourselves today for 0, 1 and 2, okay? Now, if you're asked that this is 0, 0, then for using this kind of structure in programming, you will need two different variables, two different values. No, here, see, 0, 0, then 0, 1. These values are varying, changing, right? So the first value I'm guarding it with variable I, and the second value I'm guarding it with variable j, right? I and j. You can even take a and b, x and y, doesn't matter. These are just the name of the variables, okay, nothing else. But I'm just assuming that for whatever is the first value, I'll guard it with some variable I, and the second value I'll guard it with some variable j. Okay. Now, if you see in the pattern programs, when you are on the first row, j always gets incremented. I is always 0. Did you see that? In the first row, I 0, I 0, I 0, right? But j always gets incremented. J is 0, j is 1, j is 2, right? To put this in practice in program, we know that the inner loop that you are using, right, will always be solved first, and then the outer loop will get incremented, right? Until and unless the inner loop is not solved, outer loop doesn't get resolved. That is what we know in programming, right? So to put this in programming statements, I know that I should be in the outer loop. Why? Because for the same value of I, j is finishing itself, right? J is finishing itself from 1. It is starting from 0 and it is finishing itself till m. Whatever is the last value of j, it is going till that value. But I is remaining constant only. I is not at all changing, right? So the things that are not changing, I'm planning to keep it here, right? What is not changing? I is 0 is not changing, right? I will change once j gets finished. Once this printing statement is done, then only I is changing itself to 1. Then I is changing itself to 2, okay? So I'll put it over here. What is the last value till I want the number of rows? In our case, I want the number of rows till 0, 1 and 2, okay? So I can mention here till I is less than or equals to 2, right? I is 0, I is 1 and I is less than or equals to 2. Till that point only I want to print the number of rows. In the inner loop, j is starting from 0, okay? J of course gets incremented by 1, right? Till what number j has to do? Same thing like I only know. So j is less than or equals to 2. Are you getting this much, Mohammed?
Yes, ma'am. Getting,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes. And now if I print something over here, if I print star over here, right? For if I print star over here, then for how it executes I is equals to 0, the condition is satisfied, so the control goes inside and it runs for j is 0, j is 1 and j is 2, right? If it is going to print the star 3 times, okay, for all these values. Now outside this loop, as the first row is finished, you want to print the star in the second row, you will print here println, okay, SOPLN you will use here, so that your cursor shifts to the next line, and again for I equals to 1, j again executes for 0, 1 and 2, right? Are you getting this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Any question in printing this kind of pattern, square pattern now?
No, ma'am. I got it now. Thank you.
Okay. Now, if you're asked to print a triangular pattern like this, right? If you're asked to print a triangular pattern like this, then you know of these values you think 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2. You want to print only these values. Sorry. You want to print only these values, right? Right? You want to print this. You don't want to print this, right? You want to print only these values. So think about the values of I and j, right? So when I is 0, j is only running 1 time. When I is 1, j is running 2 times, right? When I is 2, j is running 3 times, 0, 1 and 2, right? 0, 1 and 2, right? So can I say that j is always trying to reach to I. See, 0, 0, 0, 1 till 1 it is running. 2 till I equals to 2, then 0, 1 to 3 iterations are happening, right? Then in your for loop, I will not change. I will be same as the previous case. Only j is starting from 0 and j is trying to reach to I. That is j is less than or equals to I. If I is 1, j is 0, 1. If I is 2, then j is 0, 1 and 2, 0, 1 and 2, right? And again, incrementation is same. Then what do you want to print? That is your problem. See, if you are asked to print star, print star. According to your definition of the program, the things will vary. But if it's a triangle pattern, whatever is the input over here, whatever you want to print in this boxes, this pattern will not change. This framework will not change, right? Because always this condition will be true and only it prints a triangle pattern. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Okay, okay, good. Anybody facing any questions, even if it's the simplest question you talk to me, okay? Okay, nobody facing any questions? Shall we continue? Any outer loop is used for column and inner loop is used for rows. Can we say that? Okay. Outer loop, okay, see, Raj, if you want to print, see, that is not constant. What you are saying is not always true. But if you think in that sense, your outer loop is something that will not change until your inner loop is not resolved. Okay. So depends on the application. How do you want to manipulate? I have seen people implementing it in column wise also. What I have shown you currently is row wise, right? So if you are saying it in front of what I have shown you, then you can say that the outer loop is guarding the rows. The number of rows it is shown over here, it is guarded by I, the outer loop variable. Okay. Inner loop will always print the characters in form of columns. Okay. It is swapped. What you are writing is you just have to swap it. Right. One more thing. I have seen people performing the pattern program starting from column itself. It is possible, huh? Always
Yes,
I
ma'am.
and J also do from G and I. According to your brain, how it suits you, according to that you can work. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Any questions? Anybody? Assignment 1 is clear. Anybody facing any issues? Shall we move on to the next topic? Hello, people. Do you have energy?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, okay, good, good, okay. Then what have you done in the last class? Can you tell me? Yes, good. In the last class?
String functions.
String functions we have done. Okay, okay, good, good, okay. String
that is-
functions. Yes. Okay. Oh, क्या हुआ था फिर से? Can you tell me again?
आज array start करेंगे ऐसा बोला था आपने.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, anybody facing any questions in any functions of the string class? Those we have seen like uppercase, we have seen index of, we have seen character at method, we have seen length of the string, substring we have seen. Why it is not saved? It is not saved if you perform that execution, you perform a statement, it is not saved until and unless you put it in some variable that we have seen. Anybody facing any questions in that? Okay. Okay. So let us move to the next topic. Array, like I said, we'll start with array. Okay, we'll start with array. You already know these things. Okay, still I am repeating it. You already have used array in Python, right? People, you have used array in C. You have used array in Python. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, good. People are awake, right? Do you want to start this topic?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Very simple topic, right? Array is very simple. Why do we use array? Can you tell me? Why? What is the use of array?
आपको यूजर से अगर 500 टाइम्स इनपुट लेना होगा तो आप बार बार उसको प्रोग्राम में नहीं लिखोगे.
Yes, exactly. Right. You can store multiple values in array, right? That is okay. You can talk to me. Don't type. It's very hard for me to switch here and there. Okay. To store multiple data, multi-dimensional data. Oh, good. Yes. Okay, good. Oh, that is the point I'm going to convey also. Okay. To store multiple different values, in an array, it is useful. You cannot create multiple variables and store it, right? Just like you are a class of, say for example, 100 people. then I'll not take, the input of every single thing, from you in form of variables. Instead, I can create the arrays like, in one example only, I'm going to create one example. That example we can use for any type of manipulation. And this is what I wanted to show you. Okay. Say, for example, roll number. Okay. Or your, what do you say, enrollment number? Okay. Then name. Okay. Then email address. Then your local address. And your contact number. Okay, I want to store these many information for 100 students. Okay, then it is not easy for me to create different variables like enrollment number 1, enrollment number 2. Like, it is very hard for me to, create 1,000 number of variables in just one program. Okay, if you want to store 100 records for these many, parameters, then you will have to create 500 such variables, which is not feasible for me, right? 100 into 5 different parameters. So what we'll do, we'll create arrays. So in Python, the array symbol is this only, right? Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, exactly. Same is in the case of C and C++ also, okay? We denote array using square brackets only, right? And array index always starts with 0. That also you might have known, right? Array index always starts with 0. Am I correct? Why?
Yes,
Right? You know that reason now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay. So if I'm creating a roll number array or enrollment number array, right? And if I want to store 100 records, right? Then can you tell me what is the first position and the last position? Index. Sorry, not position, but index. What is
0
the
and
first?
99?
0 and 99.
0 and
Correct. Yes, very good. And this will be 99, right? Okay. To access the first element, I will use the roll number of 0. To access the last element, I will use roll number of 99, right? Good. Now, creating arrays in Java. Okay. The syntax of creating arrays in Java, how does that work? It is like this. It varies from, language to language, right? In C also you have seen the syntax is different. In Python also the syntax will be different. Okay. In this Java also syntax is different. Okay. To create array here in Java, in this Python, so I think you can directly use like this. Whatever is the variable name. Okay. In Python, you can directly use like this. No, you can store the values inside this comma separated, right? Is it correct? Static arrays, right? You can create like this. Am I right? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And I think the length not, but you have the len function to, print the length of that array, right? Len is the function, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. And I think you also remember the pop function. You know the pop function for removing the elements? Or you also have the remove function. Yeah?
Yes,
Yes,
Pop
ma'am.
last
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Add is also there, right? Extend is also there. All these are different functions in Python. Right? You remember the Python array, right?
ये सब लिस्ट क्या है वैसे?
हाँ जी?
जो तो है
Yes, somebody is saying something.
functions है मैम.
Yes. Which functions?
List.
List function. Yes. List and array both are different or both are same?
Both are different, मैम. array के लिए numpy use करते हैं.
Yes, exactly. NumPy library is there, right? You need to import, yeah? Yes. Okay, good. Now, in Java, you need not to import anything actually. Okay. You can directly create arrays like this. So we use the data type. Sorry. Okay. The data type of which you want to create the array. Like we create the integer like this only, no? Data type and the variable name, right? We create integers like this, any variables like this only. Say for example, integer I. We create like this only, no? Same thing here also. Data type, then array name, okay? And it will follow all the convention of identifiers, okay? This will follow all the rules of identifiers, okay? array name. To differentiate between a variable name and array name, we put here brackets. Brackets means it's going to be an array. It is not going to be a simple variable. Okay, simple variable like this. To create an array, we use syntaxes like this. I is, say for example, an array. Okay, simple variable, array variable. All right, so far clear? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, good. Now, if you are creating array, right, then you have to specify the size, how much boxes or how much allocation you want to do. Okay, you need to specify what is the size of this array. In here, when I am declaring that I is a variable of type array, it's type of an integer array, I am not measuring the size, I am not giving the size here inside the brackets, okay. To give the size, I will put another statement that I is actually array of type integer, and I want to allocate integer 10 boxes of memory to this variable I. Okay, I is a variable of type integer, it's an array. I want the new keyword allocates the memory to this variable I, just like in object also, no, new keyword allocates memory for the object. Same way, new keyword allocates the memory to this integer variable I of this particular size. I am in lecture. 4th slot I am free. Can you come in 4th slot, sir? 4th slot will be after, wait, 12:15. After 12:15, can you come anytime? Thank you, sir. Okay, sorry. Okay, I am allocating 10 spaces for this, okay, in the backend, in the memory. Now, the same thing, you remember C, right? So C array you remember, right? You can create array using pointers. You remember this? Creating array using pointers in C.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Dynamic memory allocation, right? Yes, exactly. So in the last class also I have said this variable P will be in the stack memory, but this pointer P will have its own, this mapping of all these elements is all. So this P is going to store only the memory address, okay, of the first element of the array, and the complete array is stored in heap, right? Because the size will vary according to user's creation. The size may vary. It's going to be similar like an object only. So all the array, even in Java, we don't have the concept of pointers in Java. They are hiding pointers from us. It's an abstraction actually here in Java. But the same thing is happening in Java also. When you create I is created in the stack memory. But then the complete allocation of this block of code, of this 10 numbers is in the heap memory only. Okay. One more thing, you need not to write these two statements separately. You can club these two statements and write a single statement like integer I is an array equals to new integer, and I can put whatever size I want here itself. Okay, data type, this much memory I want to allocate for this I as an integer array. And new keyword allocates this memory at runtime, not at compile time. Variables are resolved at compile time. Arrays and objects are given space when you run the program. Okay, until the program is not run in the JVM, it doesn't run in the JVM. Until that point of time, this heap is always free. No memory is there in the heap. All right. So new keyword will give the memory for this. Now, one more thing. If the array is of type integer, what is happening? Wait. Okay. If the array is of type integer, then you know that some amount of bytes is required for integer, right? You remember how many bytes of memory is required for integer?
2.
Integer require 2 bytes or 4 bytes in Java? I don't know. You have to think and tell me now.
Ma'am, 4 bytes in Java. It happens in other language.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Okay. Say for example, yes, I am creating this could be the question. Okay. Say for example, this is the structure. What is the total memory required by this structure? They'll ask you, okay, total number of memory required in bytes. When the array is of type integer, 5 bytes. It is storing 5 elements, not 5 bytes, sorry. So 5 into 4, 20 bytes, right? For the first for the first this. And for second, for floating point again, how much is the value? Can you
40.
tell me the size? Same
4.
only, right?
4.
Yes, 40, correct, right. If this was double, then the size would be 8, right? And if this
Yes,
was
ma'am.
long, yes, then also the size would be, long is also 8, right? Then the size would change accordingly. Am I right? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, good. Now, one more thing. All these values that you are storing, not storing, but this array completely will have contiguous indexing. If the initial memory location is 101, then plus 4 bytes 105 will be the next memory location. Plus 4 bytes 109 will be the second memory location. You know this, right? Array will always have contiguous memory location, right? If they're asking you, they'll ask you this in certain, gate questions also, they may ask you questions like this. Interview also, they may ask a question like this. If the starting address of the first variable is 101, then what is the address of the ninth location? What is the address of the ninth, indexed element? They can ask you like this. And if the array is of type integer, then what will be the calculation? You need to calculate it accordingly, okay? So find out the ninth variable's memory location. They may ask you like this, okay? But this memory location in Java, if you want to print, they are not allowing us to print the memory location of variables in Java. It was there using address operator in C and C++, but Java is providing the complete abstraction. They will not show you, the JVM will not disclose the memory location of a particular variable. Okay, they will hide it from you so that you may not change the value of that variable. Okay, for security purposes, they're hiding the location. You cannot print the memory address of a certain variable in Java. Okay, so just for a sake of understanding, if you know this, you can find out the location of any variable that they are asking you. Okay. Okay, people are awake or they are sleeping? Oh, see? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Awake.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You are all awake. I think you all are sleeping. People are awake? Hello?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
good. All right. Okay. Now taking the inputs in this array. Okay. Oh, okay. No. Before taking the input, let me show you one more thing. Then I'll come to this point. Okay. You have created the array, right? When you are creating the array like this, new int, and you are mentioning 10 over here. Okay. See, whenever you are creating string s equals to high, say for example you are creating high, then s dot length has a function of string class, right? We have seen this will print 2 if the character stored is hi high, right? And the size of this string will be 2 bytes plus 2 bytes equals to 4 bytes, right? Because h and I, 2 characters, no, one and another one, 4 bytes. Now, if they are asking you to print length of this array, then for all the arrays that you are creating, the length is printed using simple length variable. You need not to use a function, okay? For string class, length is a function, but for this variables, for this array, length is actually a predefined variable, okay? So you are not putting brackets over here. You can directly use a dot length to print the length of this array. All right. Are you getting this difference between the bracket length and length? It's a function. It's a variable. Prints the number of characters a string is having. Prints the number of locations, the number of elements you want to save it in a certain array. Okay. There are two differences over here. Don't mix both of them. Okay. One more thing I want to show you is when you are creating array, okay, whenever you are creating a certain array, there are multiple ways of creating this array, okay? When you are creating array like this, you can assign elements like this, right? It's an integer, okay? So I'll assign elements like this, okay? See, this is nothing but Gada Majuri. It is nothing but a donkey's task. If I do like this, right? Isn't it a donkey's way of doing it?
Then loop.
Right, exactly, yes. So for inputting the elements, for storing the elements, we will use the concept of loop. You're very right about that. Correct. Now, one more thing I'm showing you. Okay, one more thing I'm showing you is, if I want to assign static values, I don't want to input values from user, I can assign static values like this to this array. Okay, automatically a dot length will print the total number of characters it is having, just like your array in Python also. But in Python, you are putting square brackets to give the values. Here, you are putting curly brackets to mention the values. Okay. You can put values comma separated values over here in the curly brackets to assign values in this array. Okay. Then automatically, you need not to give the length of the array in this case. Are you getting the difference between creating the array with new keyword? If you are creating the array with new keyword, you may want to input values from user, okay? But if you want to create a static array with a fixed set of values like this, it is possible, of course, right? Then you need not to mention the new keyword wala whole syntax over here. Okay? Are you getting this thing? Let me show you both the differences. Okay? If you want to create a static array without using new keyword, then automatically this values will be stored in the same fashion only. A of 0, A of 1 will have these values only. A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3. The same set of values is here. But now if you want to create a dynamic array without, giving some fixed set of values, okay, say 5, then you can use this A of 0 equals to scan.nextInt, right? Then A of 1 equals to scan.nextInt. It is again a donkey's task, right? You can use here loop. Right? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, right.
Are you getting what I'm telling you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can actually do it like this. See, I'm creating an array with fixed set of values. Okay, comma separated. I am creating another array, B, where I want to input values from user. Okay, then I can do it like this also. Not importing scanner, I'm leaving it for you to do it, okay? But you can even do it like this, no? Again, this is nothing but a donkey's way of doing it. See, is it the correct way? Is this the correct way to take inputs from user?
No, ma'am.
No, right? No. Yes. So you will run a loop, right? I equals to 0 because array index starts from 0. Okay. I less than b dot length c. Let me show it to you. What happened? Okay. And it's taking time to. Okay, it's taking time to. No problem. Okay, you GTH. Okay. And then I plus plus, all right. Then I can take scan.nextInt, okay, and I can save it like this, like b of I, right? So whatever is the b dot length, it's a variable. See the difference? It's a green colored variable. All the green colored things are variable, predefined variable. Math.pi, pi will be in green color. Math.e, will be in green color, right? Same way. b dot length, green colored variable, okay. And now it is going to take input from user like this, right? 2 different ways. Are you getting this? Any questions so far?
Ma'am, in Java, array is mutable.
Array is
mutable.
Oh, okay. Okay. Like strings are unmutable. Array, you can mute the elements inside it, okay. But if you want to increase or decrease the size of the array, that's where mutation is not possible because they are having fixed size, okay. But if you are using list in Java, list is mutable, okay. You can increase and decrease the size of the list at runtime. However bigger list you want to create, you can create. If you want to shrink it, you can shrink it using elements, using methods like push and pop only. No, adding the elements, removing the elements, you can do it in list. But if you're creating 5 blocks of memory, then you are accessing this 5 block of memory completely. You are not, you cannot reduce this size, you cannot increase the size. It has to be of 5. It is created of 5 blocks only. Later on, if I want to redeclare array b equals to no. I want to create a new int of now 10 size. It is not possible. Right? Once a size is given, it is given. This is not possible. Okay.
Ma'am, not in that way. Once I assign value for one element in array, after change it, it is possible.
Oh yes, elements. If you assign a value, because see, that is definitely possible. The reason is every single element over here is an individual integer element, right? Group of integers will be one array, no? So this will be simple in a of 0. In here, b of 0 is counted as one integral value, one integer value. Okay. See, just for this, okay, let me create the object of scanner class. Okay. 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 Say you are inputting values from user. Okay. Now b of 0, I want to change it to 100, whatever is the value. Okay. And I am printing here b of 0. Right. See what I am doing here. I am inputting 5 values from user. Okay. In the first value, I'll put 1, 2, 3. I'll put all ones. Okay. I'll put all ones over here. Then I reassign the b of 0 as 100. It is like you are assigning a simple variable. No, because individually it is going to be a simple variable like one integer. Right. I'm reassigning I am printing the updated value. It is printing 100 only. Okay. In that way, it is mutable if you're telling about. You can reassign the values again and again. Okay. But you cannot increase or decrease the size of the array. This is the fixed. Right. Are you getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, yes. Anybody having any questions so far?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay. We'll continue from this point in the next class. If you still have queries, I repeat the same thing 1,000 number of times. Okay, I don't mind repeating the concept again and again. We'll redo the same thing in the next class also. Okay. If you have any questions, you can shoot right now. No questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. No problem. I'll take the attendance, and then you can leave. Huh? Yes. Ayush?
Present, ma'am.
Rohan? Bipin? Manav?
Yes, ma'am.
Anuj?
Yes, ma'am.
Riddhi?
Present, ma'am.
Vidhi?
Present, ma'am.
Yashraj? Darsh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Mansi? Okay. Nikita?
Present, ma'am.
Yes. Minthan?
Present, ma'am.
Yes. Smith Kumar?
Present, ma'am.
Devansh? Pala?
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Devansh present. Divyajit present. Okay. Yashang?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Dipel?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Tushar?
Present.
Yes. Yash? Okay. Manyar? Manyar was there? Yes. Parmar?
Present, ma'am.
Yes. Udayraj?
Present, ma'am.
Rishabh?
Present, ma'am.
Ivanchi? Ivanchi is not there. Okay. Janvi?
Present, ma'am.
Dhanushali? Okay. Harshvardhan?
Present, ma'am.
Yes. Vijayaraj?
Present, ma'am.
Yes. Dadanya?
Present, ma'am.
Bharti? Bharti is not there. Manya present, yes. Hello. Oh, some problem with the internet. Okay. Can you hear
Yes,
me?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, okay. Yes, yes, I'm back online. Good, okay. Bharti? Okay. Avinash? Bhanushali, I have marked you present, beta, okay? Avinash? No, okay. Pranjal present, okay. Limbani?
Present, ma'am.
Yes. Arjan? Maharana? Tanmay Raj?
Yes, ma'am.
Vignesh
Done, ma'am.
present. Tanmay Raj present. Okay, yes, yes. Yes. Vignesh Prasad?
Present, ma'am.
Yes. Panjwani? Sushri Prasad? Dhruvi?
Present, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Netik? Okay. Dharmik?
Present, ma'am.
Mohammed? Okay. Mohammed? Kunal?
Present, ma'am.
Yes. Nidhi?
Present, ma'am.
Nidhi Jain?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Arpit? Okay. Nidhi, you are present. All right. Arpit?
Yes, ma'am.
Meghna?
Yes, ma'am.
Yash? Ramda?
Present.
Bhavdi?
Present, ma'am.
Divya? Yes. Divya?
Yes.
Yes. Saif Ali?
Yes, ma'am.
Samir Alam? Isha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Isha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, yes. Vibhusha? Om Parik? Aditya?
Present, ma'am.
Yani? Aditya Jain?
Hitesh, present, ma'am.
Yes, yes, Hitesh present. Aditya Jain? Jay Dakan?
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Yes. Priyank?
Present, ma'am.
Tushar? Yes. Nikita?
Present, ma'am.
Okay, yes. Girish?
Present, ma'am.
Patik?
Present, ma'am.
Enrollment number 62. 61. 59.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, 61 is present. Okay. 59 present. 60. Vibhusha, I've marked you present. You can leave the session. 60. Okay. 63. 64. Rima, you are there? 65. Okay. 73. Okay. Yes, yes. Mohammed is there. Darshan
Yes, ma'am.
Raj. Yes, yes.
Present,
Ready?
ma'am. Ma'am, Darshan
Yes. Darshan Raj present. Yes, yes, yes. Smriti present. Vaishali.
Present.
Present, ma'am.
Yes. Vasu. Runal.
Present, ma'am.
Yes. Aliwad present.
Excuse
Yes,
me,
yes.
ma'am.
You all can leave the session.
Ma'am, BD 11.
BD 11.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes, yes, yes.
can you please, from the array part, you can go a bit slowly? Because in the C as well, in the online class, I was facing issues from the array part only. That's why.
Okay, no problem. I'll go slowly. No problem.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Yes, you all can leave the session.